Well, 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 what have we here? Another classic Husqvarna. This one's a 250. That's a CR, right, Shane?
This is a 250
XC, so the cross-country model. That should have the wide ratio transmission. What a stunning machine. Something about those long travel Fox shocks on the back, the 12 inches of rear suspension that it appears to have on the back, the long travel forks, the gold fork lowers. This is a stunner, folks. She's absolutely gorgeous. This is another one of the 6 or 9 Husqvarna, maybe 10 Husqvarna two-strokes we got from a local collector. Every one of them ran, including this one when we got it. And he had them in his living room on display since the 70s, so in 80s, because he had 70s and 80s Husqvarnas, and he never rode them. He came up here. He was dropping them off in his pickup truck. I don't know. He did like 4 trips. How many bikes total did he drop off? There must have been close to a dozen, right? All Husqvarnas. This one has the original bars on it. I'm going to point this out. The original bars, and they're not bent. The original paint job on the tank, and it's not destroyed. I don't see any dents. Is there any dents in the tank? One tiny one underneath the bottom of the tank over here. I think it's a dent. Yeah, right here. I believe original side panels, original seat cover. We did put a brand new front and rear fender on because the originals were kind of faded and tarnished, and we just want to freshen it up. These are original reproduction. Has a new front number plate on it. The Magura levers appear to be in like new condition. It's got a new set of Ori grips on it. The shocks are worth note. Check these shocks out. These are Fox factory shocks. They just look badass. I mean, this is, you rolled up to the line on a cross-country race with this, or what year is this one?
This is a 1981.
81. If you rolled up to the line with this, off-road or motocross race, you were expected to do well, or win. This is a step up from the Japanese counterparts of that era. They're just super high quality. And I raced these. I had an 83 XC500 and a CR500, which is basically the same thing as this. White frame. What a kick-ass machine. If you ever get a chance to pick one up, do it, man. You got the gold rims, gold forks, the blue and chrome tank, Swedish-built quality. The engine, cylinder, head, and cases in a carb and exhaust are all original and appear to be in excellent condition. This one, unfortunately, it ran when he got it, and I believe it ran when it came here, but we couldn't get it started for the demonstration here, and I believe Shane said that it needs a new ignition. Is that correct?
Yeah, it needs a new stator and stator plate. Best bet if you're going to buy this bike, probably buy a new PVL. PVL does make these ignition systems. Buy a new PVL ignition system, and the cylinder base gasket is blown too, so it has blow-by. But apart from those 2 issues, that's really what's holding it back from being a...
So what would it cost to fix it in parts?
Probably about $500.
And how much in labor?
3 or 4 hours.
All right, so basically in a Saturday morning, then you have a brand new ignition and you've got a brand new base gasket, and while you're at it, you might as well clean up your ports with emery cloth, clean up the head, maybe put a new set of rings on it or hone it, make it yours, make it right. It's being sold as is because, well, we've got a 6-month backlog. We have 4 techs, 18 guys that work here, but only 4 A-techs, and they are backed up for months. There's no way we're going to get to this. So we're putting this one up. There will be a reserve on this one that's reasonable. I hate to let it go without having it running and doing. Frankly, hey, I'm a little bit selfish. I love riding these things. I get to do the demos, and if you watch our videos, nothing more I like to do than send it on a vintage 2-stroke. So hate to let this bad boy go, but it's time to let her go. Here's a clue that this wasn't something that was run into the ground or abused. Take a look at the kickstand on it. How often do you see a 70s dirt bike with the original kickstand? Like maybe 1 in 100. The other clue, the original spark arrestor on the back here is still intact. Most people took those out. The frame's perfectly straight. The original saddle's good. The factory paint job looks great on it. There's proof that this thing it's been in private store. Oh my God, another brand new frame. Look at the frame rails on this thing, man. Absolute. The center frame rail is virgin. It's never touched a rock. This one right here has got one tiny little ding. I would say on a scale of 1.10, I'm going to give this a 9.5 for this era off-road. Engine cases and frame, and that's the heart of the bike. So big deal. You put an ignition in it and a base gasket, and you got yourself a kick-ass classic with very low hours on it. My buddy who had these straight up told me he hadn't ridden them in decades. So when he did ride them, he just took them out around the yard. They weren't like abused. Original bars on there. Come on. Anything you'd like to add about this beauty? I know when you pulled up, my heart skipped a beat looking at it.
You know, like just like you said, it kind of makes me upset that we have to sell it because it's such a beauty and it's a really clean, original, vintage dirt bike. So whoever gets it, they're gonna have a really nice ride and great Arma vintage racer. Really.
I'd roll this one in the museum exactly like it is and be proud to display it. It's that beautiful. The only thing I would do is I'd probably repaint the original handlebars, the metallic gold that the forks are, because there's a little patina on there. But I mean, I don't know why we didn't paint them, but that's original 79. That makes it what, like a 41-year-old handlebars, steel bars, and they're not bent. And the shocks, what's a set of shocks like these worth, Shane?
That's $1,500 to $2,000 easy, and you could tell by just looking at them. Those aren't repainted, those aren't refurbished. Those are original, nice condition Fox factory spring shocks.
Wow, it's a little more than I would have guessed. But Shane's our parts guy. He orders all the parts, and sometimes I have high blood pressure when I see the bills we get. But these vintage bike parts are expensive. The rims look to be in good shape too. What about the forks? What's your analysis of those?
I think those are just the original. I think they're B-Tours forks.
How's the chrome on them?
Stanchions are good. No pitting. Possibly blown fork seals, but
yeah, you would expect you'd need fork seals that are sitting for 4 decades, but the bottoms are in nice shape. That's it, folks. She's a beauty. It has the original 250 decal on this side right here, which there's another clue. That decal, an aggressive rider riding off-road in the mud, that decal is going to be gone in about, what, 1-2 hour race?
Yeah, one race.
One race, and it's still there. So the bottom of the frame rails are proof. The swing arm and rims are proof. Very low hour beauty. Pretty common for the ignitions to fail after this many decades. It is an electronic component. And you can upgrade to the PVI ignition. It'll rev higher, start faster, run cleaner, be easier to start, and put a new base gasket on it, and you got yourself a primo classic. This is not like, this is still a cucumber, folks. This is not one that turned into a pickle and you try to revive it to. This is a cucumber that's been in my friend's private storage for decades. So a home museum storage. Thanks for watching. God bless Husqvarna. God bless Sweden for such kick-ass motorcycles. And God bless America.